Hey girls, it's Wednesday. I actually scripted this video because I wanted to sound coherent in what I was saying, and I don't know if it actually worked, but if you see me looking to the side here, that's because I'm reading off of my script. So here we go. I tend to lean toward the non-confrontational side of things and keep my opinions to myself, very similar to Jen, because I get very frustrated. And I have found myself in a lot of situations where trying to express my opinion has been like talking to a brick wall. I have come across so many people in my life that are so set in their ways that they don't even acknowledge that other opinions are out there, let alone have any sort of merit to them at all. So I've kind of become very picky on who I actually express my opinions to. That being said, I will give you a little bit of insight today into my opinion on the whole feminist topic. I do consider myself a feminist, but more than that, I believe in human rights. I believe that two people who do the same amount of work at the same quality for the same amount of time should be getting the exact same amount of compensation. It shouldn't matter if one of them is a straight white Christian male and the other one is an African American Jewish lesbian. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter at all. I believe that two consenting adults who are in love with each other should be able to confirm that bond by getting married. It shouldn't matter if they're both men, if one of them's a man, one of them is a woman, if both of them are women, if one of them is 25 and the other one is 90. It shouldn't matter. If they are consenting adults, they should be able to legally get married. This and many other things, I believe, are basic human rights that all people should be awarded. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, that whole gamut. But I also think that we need to recognize that all people are different. No two people are exactly the same. And the words life, liberty, and happiness have a much different meaning to some people than they do to others. Recently, I read a blog by an actress named Kim Rhodes, who I admire a lot. Her blog makes me think a lot, and sometimes it makes me laugh. She tells some funny stories about her daughter and her husband and being an actress and things like that, but she also talks a lot about serious topics. And the other day she wrote a blog about racism. And in the beginning of the blog, she starts by talking about her mother. And she says, she wanted equality for all, but she thought equality meant everybody being the same and ignoring any evidence to the contrary. The problem with this way of thinking is that it guides people toward the assumption that all people are exactly the same, that people all have the same capabilities and the same wants and the same desires, which isn't true. It leads to projects like No Child Left Behind, which treats all students the same and punishes schools for classes that are unable to reach the one high, challenging standard. I don't want to spend the rest of my night trying to explain this, but basically, I think that we need to realize that everyone is different, and obviously there are some rights that are important to some people and not important to other people. Rights about female reproductive health are not necessarily all that relevant to men, but I think should be important, especially men who plan on having children or having a relationship with a woman. Rights about the freedoms we have to practice religion are not necessarily all that important to atheists, but they could be if people decide that everyone is the same, and so everyone is Christian, and so everyone needs to go to church on Sundays. Things like that. I don't know if I'm being entirely articulate there, so I am just going to leave you with this last quote from the blog that I'm going to link to in the doobly-doo by Kim Rhodes. She said, "Different doesn't mean bad or good. It means different, and we are all different. Once that means nothing, then we can get to the place where we really are all the same, and no mother loses a child because of what he or she wears, be it skin color or a sweatshirt." Sarah, I'll see you tomorrow.